All right, and good morning, everybody. Tom, how you doing? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Chucker. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Just getting everything packed up, ready to hit the road in about 2 to 3 hours.
Well, good. Going to Birmingham, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's great. All right, listen, folks. We're gonna keep this less than an hour, but we got a lot to talk about. Hello, Ernie. Long time no see. Hey, Ernie, put your phone number in here. Oh, I'd like to call him just to chat with you a second. Ernie's a longtime student of ours. Risks involved in trading past performance is not indicative of future results. Hello, Jennifer. I can say Jennifer and I get both Jennifers. That's the use of words. In my opinion, we're about to have a great finish to 2025, and it's going to be even better in 2026. How do I know that? Well, I think this year everybody's come a long way, and I know that when it comes to this game, I always say this is not an easy game to play. This is a tough game. If you learn the art of what I would call how to play it, you'll never need money. You can generate your cash through strategies and everything that will help you succeed. And that's what we try to do through what we do, which is train and trade. Welcome to Train and Trade. My opinion, the hottest ticker on the planet is silver. I think it will continue to be hot, maybe not as hot as it is, but it will continue to be hot. There's three basic strategies that you can take advantage of silver with. You can buy SLV. You can use a credit put spread strategy, and then you can use futures. I like futures. I prefer the futures because you get a lot of bang for your buck, a lot of bang for your buck in silver. This is actually four. You do the micro, which is SIL. But you ought to learn those strategies. They will pay you. That's my opinion. Now, I wanted to show you this. I got this morning to start my day. This is what gets me motivated. Having a blah day, I went and did what I did and everything. And all of a sudden, I checked my text, and Roger, somebody I spent 3 days with on one-on-one, uh, not this week, but last week, sent me this. I can't tell Roger how much it means for me to take a few lines and jot this down because we worked hard during those 3 days. And we did have a great time, had some good food. But the big thing about this 3 day that made it different than all the other ones I've done, we developed 10 trades that are worth minimum of 100,000 to you. And I'm going to teach that through the interactive course. But look at what he did just trading silver futures. He didn't even know how to spell the word futures until he joined my futures program. That is strong, isn't it? Let's give Roger a hand. He's an orthopedic out of Texas. If you ever in Texas have an issue, you got somebody to call. Roger's a friend of DTI. That's pretty amazing to me. Somebody not even, I guess it goes to the quality of what we do in our Futures Plus program. But anyway, I want to show it to you. Made me smile. And I think that everybody here has got the potential to do what Roger did. He's worked at it just like Carol and other people have done. And it's steps, steps you go through. Isn't that great? I want to show you that. Now, why don't we do this, Jonathan? Let's go, if we can, before we come back to the slides, to a live market. I want to talk about a live market to people. Now, this is the E-mini. If you look at the E-mini, does everybody see the E-mini about to go into a buy area? Everybody see that? And you're thinking, well, it's a shortened day today, right? Shortened day. I don't want to trade. There's a trade here. And, you know, you could trade the E-mini or you could trade the SPY. A safer play would be to do SPY. In fact, I'll give you a SPY trade that's a safer trade at the end of train and trade, okay? But I wanted to show that to you. This is pretty impressive. Now put the QQQ in there. I want to show people the QQQ. Notice the QQQ is up, but not as strong as the mini. They're buying the S&P 500 versus the QQQ. They've done it all week. That's a pretty interesting comparison. Now let's go to silver. I want to go to silver. Let's start out with SLV. I started at about $50 a share on this run. Let's go to a daily, Jonathan. Go to a daily. If you go back to the first of the month, you will see that silver clearly was in an uptrend and was exceeding our 3-day high, which was our early warning call that, hey, we got some money to make there. More to go, folks. I think there's more to go. Now let's go to silver futures next. Go to silver futures. I like to look at silver futures, but I also go back to SLV to stabilize me. There's a daily, and it's extreme buy. This is when you see that, okay, when you see that, that's telling you that it's a spread type action in futures when you see that kind of action. Okay, and I've got a format I've taught my people in futures first. Now let's go to 30 minutes. When you go to 30 minutes, you've got a negative reference bar. And if you look back, go from the high, Jonathan, to the high if you can, over there, that high that was created. I think it was after RB1 last night, that high, what was it, 72 and a half, something like that, 73 maybe.
That's the high of the day. That's the high of the day, which is 72.75.
Yeah, 72.75. Y'all remember me telling you we'd run into resistance at 72 and a half to 75. Remember that. I think that's important. So now you got a market that's correcting, and for the first time, the market has a positive bar from reference bar 3. If it comes down, made a new low, made a new low. Does everybody see that positive bar there? It wouldn't surprise me. Let's do a midpoint of the high and low today. Let's get that number, the midpoint.
71.45.
71.45 is the midpoint of the futures for today.
Right. Yep.
All right. So we're running into resistance up there at 71.45 is what it's telling. We need to get above that, and we need to be positive on Genesis, which would tell us that we're going to go up and test those highs. That's how you read that. Okay. And I wanted to cover that before I got into the slides to try to help you understand the power of, number one, the DTI approach. Number two, how to intersect SLV and silver futures and everything together. Okay, you connect it when you look at it like that. Okay, and makes it pretty exciting when you do that. Okay, now. Any questions about silver before I go back to my slides? I wanted to show that to you this morning. Pete, what you do is go to the futures to SLV. So if you Just put SLNB. Pete asked a good question. Where's the midpoint of the high and low SLV?
Just from the cash market until now, open until now, 64.56 on SLV.
What is it?
64.56.
And we're 64.46 on SLV. Okay. Now here's a unique thing about SLV. They got expirations on SLV. I think it's every other day, don't they, Johnny? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
I believe so. Yep.
Folks, if I tell you the following, that I can show you how to take $5,000, $5,000 minimum investment, and make about $50,000 in 2026, that'd be our goal. Anybody interested in me showing that to people and through my live trading? I'll do it. So, Rob, I want you to remind me I said that, because that'll be a heck of a goal, wouldn't it? But I'm going to do silver in 2026 for sure, and I've got a couple ways to do that. Just take a $5,000 investment, okay? That's my goal, and we'll do it through the live trading we do, okay? All right, so let's go to the slides. We answered all the questions. Show, I'm going to do it with futures and with SLV. I can't get to 50 without using futures also, okay? All right, Santa Claus Rally and the Almanac trifecta. Train and trade. Christmas Eve. I love the slide to kick it off. Doesn't that get you excited when you see something so beautiful like that to kick off? It does me. The only thing that'd be different, we had Santa singing our theme song. All right, the Santa Claus Rally. How many people's heard the word Santa Claus Rally? Well, let me tell you the true story about the Santa Claus Rally. It was first identified in the Trader's Almanac years ago, but now I'm going to add a little bit to it. Jeffrey Hirsch doesn't know what I'm going to add to it to really make it special, okay? But first, let's understand what it's defined as. It's the last 5 days of the current year, last 5 trade days. So go look at the last 5 trades. When did the last 5 trade days start? Yesterday, right? And it goes through the first 2 trade days of next year. And the gain's been about 1.3% average gain since 1969. That's a good year too. Now, if Santa doesn't show upcoming bear markets or weak markets, this is how I identified, if you go back and look at 2022, y'all remember how I got you short the first 5 days of January? This is how I got you short. That was my warning sign, okay? This is something to be looking at. Now, the first 5 days of January, when does that start? Remember, we got 2 days that the Santa Claus rally is still in force, and part of those 2 days is the first 5 days of the year. They tend to set the tone for January. Jonathan, it used to be, and this is off the top of my head, I didn't look, about 75, 80% when the first week's positive, January's positive, I think. Maybe it's higher. I don't remember the actual percent. I can look it up, but it's in there. But it leads, oh, there it is, 83% of the time. That's pretty high, isn't it? These first 5 days. Are y'all going to pay attention with me the first 5 days of the year, knowing this little fact about the trifecta? I'll be paying attention. 83%. That's pretty good odds. That's the first 5 days. Now, poor record midterm election years. There's only 9 of the last 19 midterm years. Have you had a good year with this stat? But there's a change this year, and you'll figure it out when we get into the year, because I believe that this year will work out the way it should work, okay? But I've got what I call an overlay that I'll be using. That's the DTI approach that makes it really exceptional. The January barometer, what does it mean? It means if January is good, the year is good. If you're up in January, about a 73% chance the year is going to be up. That's great knowledge to have if you're investing or trading, right? Notice the percentage went up. It worked 11 of the last 19, which means even though it was down during that first, as the year progressed, it got better. It did in 2022. In October, it took off. That was the low of 22. These are great numbers. The Almanac trifecta, they talk all about it in the Trader's Almanac, okay? Right? When all three are up, the S&P has been up 29 of 32 years at a 90% accuracy rate. Do I have your attention? When any one of the three are down, the year's result dropped down to only about 60, still 2/3. But still, now we're going to bring that back up, overlay it with the DTI approach. These are great stats. When all three are down, the S&P was down 3 of 8 years with an average loss of 3.6%. 3 down years were bear markets. 3 of 8 were flat years. 2 of the 8 years ended positive. So you did have an outcome even with it going down first. Believe this or not, 1987 ended up being a positive year. I couldn't believe it when I saw the stats on it. I never thought it was because I was so bearish at the time, because I got killed in 87. But anyway, it was shocking when I discovered it actually ended up. Now let's add in the DTI approach. Wouldn't you rather have this practical trading overlay of these stats to really pump up our stats? We're going to add in the DTA algos. Here's the way it works. We take the first 3 days of the month, find the highest high of the first 3 days, and find the lowest low of 3 days. We already know that if we're higher, 80% of the time we go up. Imagine if we're higher, okay, and bullish on a certain stock, we get long above it. You're wrong if the stock falls below that low. The bearish strategy is when you're short and it's going down. And your all bets off number is the higher of the 3. Now here's how you take it further. This is the final section. Are you glad? Let me ask you. Tell me and Jonathan and Chuck, you're glad I'm covering this for you, where you could be thinking about it before we get there. Give me a yes if you really like what I'm doing here, okay? You're getting a picture in your mind what to look for, right? That's what you're here for, right? Now you're going to know as much as I do until the market tells us. Now the week start is usually Monday. It's following Tuesday if Monday's a holiday. Now we're going to have a lot of Monday holidays, so you got to remember that. You find the high of the week start day. You find the low of the week start day. This is the high-low frame for that week of trading. So if you're bullish on the 3-day and you're bullish on higher than that Monday first start day, you got a bullish trend. And I can prove it to you just by looking at my results that I give you, okay? I'm not holding anything back there. The frame is the key. And with the roadmap software, it's perfect. Alfonso, I need to call you today. Put your number on in there. I need to call you. I'm glad you're here. I'll call you when I get done or sometime today. Give me your number. Writing it down. That's 2 calls I know I got to make today. Okay. All right. If trade day 1's on Friday, January 2nd, trade day 2's on Monday, January the 5th, trade day 3 will be Tuesday, January 6th. That's the DTI approach. Over the past 24 months, the SPY has a 94% success rate following the DTI approach. The other 6 months, the 3-day algo kept you out. Now, don't you want to learn this? All these little things like this make your success better and easier. That insight alone will make you money in 2026. Now, what am I doing to put an underlying control for you to really learn more things like this to help you navigate 2026? The team at DTI is going to do a DTI interactive home study course. By the way, we wrapped up January. Jonathan's putting final touches on it. We'll deliver it on the first day of the year. That'll be our goal. The cost is $9.99. This price is going to change once we go into 2026. If you're interested, you go 904-706-3532. I said yesterday, and I'll do the same thing. If you want to put down $600 and pay the rest and work with one of our salespeople, put your name and email in there, or just go direct and buy it. Everybody understand what I'm saying? You can put down $600 by talking to one of our salespeople. I'll have to rush up somebody to get it, but you got to get on board if you want this deal. DTItrader.com/home or call 904-706-3532. Now, I want to open it up for questions. Ron, did you get called yesterday? Okay. Jonathan, you got to monitor this. These people need to be called. If Kelly's not going to do this, let somebody else do it.
Okay, sounds good.
You know? I want him to be ready to go. That way we know exactly how many people starting the year with us, okay? Yes, Joanne, it is for a full year's access. 1 year. That's less than $100 a month. What I gave you today is worth a lot more than $100 a month, wouldn't you say? How would you like to have that every week of the year? The little insights and everything that make it better. That's what you're going to get. One part of the home study course is proprietary insights by me. Every week you'll have it throughout 2026. Plus, I'm going to teach you the 10 trades Roger and I came up with. They're too valuable not to share it. And I'll do it through the home study course. Okay. Anybody got any questions for me about this? There's Roger. Did you just get out of surgery, Roger, and popped in, or are you taking the day off? Still working. I like it. Todd, that will be in my live trading Tuesday through Friday. Cheryl said, heck, when somebody called me, I want to get that course on day one. Cheryl just signed up without anybody calling her. Jonathan, why don't we take a 10-minute break in case they come up with more questions?
Okay, let me get a timer up. 10 minutes.
Arthur wants you to have somebody call him.
All righty. Got you down, Arthur. Thank you.
Denny, the classes are home study. From time to time, we will have at the end of the week, besides our special guest, Jeffrey Hurst, the second week, from time to time on Friday, we'll get together and discuss where everybody is in the course and answer any questions that they don't have answers to, because I don't want them to go much past 2 weeks for us to make sure you got everything you need. Okay? That'll be the plan. Did everybody make money the last time we had the marathon trading? Because we got one scheduled for Friday. I want to mention that. Start at 10:30 on Friday. I sort of feel like I helped you pay for Christmas through my 4 trades I gave you. Now we'll start paying for January with the marathon on Friday. That'll be our goal. You know, there's risk in everything. You know that. Pete, that's the plan. That's the plan. S&P's at a new record, 69.81. I'd say Santa Claus is going at full speed, wouldn't y'all? Hey, Jonathan, look back and tell me the low of yesterday. I think low of yesterday would be how to judge the rally. What was the low on the S&P from yesterday?
It was down at 69.13.
69.13. Okay, write that number down, folks. That's where the Santa Claus rally supposedly started yesterday. 69.13. Polly points out that SLV is already above 64.45. Polly, you'd be better off waiting to after Genesis, okay? Because we're so close to the Genesis time bar. It just started, okay? But you got the NASDAQ, you got the S&P, QQQ, everything is surging right now. Even Apple's having a decent day. I think Google's going to be a stock next year because they're invested in some of these hot private placements that are coming. Glenn said he's up 15% on a stock on silver I gave him at the early part of December. I think David said here, other student success stories gives us, yeah, because I look, that's one reason I told John, just show my cumulative record because where new people know I'm the real deal, but I'd rather post what students do from what I say. That's more important to me. That's the way I've always thought about as an instructor for this, is that I get a bigger kick out of you doing it. Hey, that's just the way it works. I've always felt that way. Roger, don't you love? Now, let's talk about Roger. Roger came down here. He didn't do it. I charged him for every day. You know, for me to sit there with somebody every day, but what he got out of it, his goal was, he's a doctor, he works full time. He wanted to have trades he could do in the afternoon overnight. I designed a program, a custom program for him. Speaking of that, if anybody would like to talk to me about me designing a custom program for your particular situation, put your name and number in here, and I'll call you before the end of the year. I can do that if you want to talk to me about that. Might require you coming down here. In fact, Jonathan, it probably wouldn't hurt to show the schedule of my classes where they can see that. But if anybody would like a custom program, I'll try to listen to you and tell you if I can do it or not. Put your name and phone number in there, and I'll jot that down. I'll get a hold of it before the end of the year. You know, for example, if you got a peculiar situation, hey, this is what I'd like to focus on, and I'll target it. I'm going to try to do more of that in 2026 to help people individually. You know, I help people broadly, okay? That's what I'll be trying to do. There's the dates for the small classes. January is sold out. We can't take any more in January. The earliest you could come would be April and then July. And I talked to several people from that's coming to Sawgrass. They want to come back in the summer for that July, so they're going to take those slots. Okay. I'm going to give everybody a trade when I finish today. I've got a trade I want to do. Okay. Hey, Glenn, this might qualify for you because you're in a lot of the VIP programs. Put your name and number down for me. Mindy, the small class, I try to do it every quarter. Jonathan can send you a link to listen to more details about small classes. He'll put it in here for people. Yeah, Shoba, put your number in there. I'll call you. Jennifer, I say I'll be seeing a lot of you. JBS. Hey, Glenn, did you ever post your number in there? Your phone number? Yeah, I'm not going to be talking to him. Nobody else is going to see it. Just put it in here and I'll have it in my books. I'll call you before the end of the year if that's okay. Roger gave me this idea when I was working with him, and this is something I could do. I'd rather you come in person, but if you can't come in person, this would work for people that couldn't come in person. I could do a custom deal because Roger will tell you it works. It's big time stuff. I learned something doing it too. Yeah, Mindy, Jonathan, how would Mindy get our replay of Sunday night? She's got something she does on Sunday night that conflicts with when I do it. How would she get the recording?
It's real simple. Mindy, just go to dtitrader.com/YouTube. I'm typing all this in the chat, so just hang on a second. Go to dtitrader.com/YouTube. And when you get over there, there's a little tab that says live. And you'll get the Sunday night recording there. You'll also get recordings of these training trade sessions that we've been doing in 2025. So head over to YouTube, dtitrader.com/YouTube. And go to the live tab.
Yeah, Robin, inside there, I believe the emotional handicaps we put on ourselves for really keep you from succeeding. And I learned that back in the day when I lost all that money in 87, and it's overcoming that fear. The way I overcome the fear is very simply by having a process. And I do it with numbers, not a chart. That's how I overcome the fear. But I'll get more in detail in the interactive, how to handle that and some things you can do individually. We'll do that through the interactive. We're at a new all-time record, 69.85, Jonathan.
Love to see it. I think Santa has arrived.
I was so happy, Jonathan, when I saw silver hit 72.50. Remember, I said I think it's going to make it to 72.50 to 75 by the end of the year, and it hit 72.50. It's going to be interesting if we could push that 75 number, but I think it'll happen first, probably after the first of the year if it doesn't get there. But still, what a move, huh?
Yeah, it sure is. Sure is. And happy that so many of you here are playing along with it as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people here, I'd like to compile. Do me a favor. If you made money off either in my futures program or just outright T&T program where I was telling you to buy silver, will you type that and give some estimate how well you've done just in that silver area? Because that would help us to know that we are having a big effect on you. It motivates Jonathan, motivates me. Just take a sentence and say, hey, since December, listen to silver, I'm up X dollars, okay? There's some numbers coming through. Look at that. Way to go, Jennifer. Neil did 6,000. Way to go in the last 10 days. Tim made 3,500. He said, my education's paid for, 4,000 on PAAS. Jonathan, copy all this for me. You mind putting this in a PDF where I can look at it? This is motivating me, Jonathan, to do a better job. This is great. Way to go, David. Look at what Frank's done. He's the top. Frank, you're at the top of the pyramid. Bob said 5. Jody got in 2025, had a great year. Way to go, Jody. Way to go, Glenn. Look what Ben did. Way to go, Ben. That's 100% on your risk capital, right, Ben? I was talking to somebody. They said, Tom, this is at the gym this morning. She was from Chicago, and she said she likes my philosophy. They're just the names of things I trade are just tickers. I love it or hate it, depending on what I'm doing with them, right? And that's one thing I learned is to go where they're paying. Who was that bank robber that somebody from Northeast knows his name? The bank robber. They said, if you want to know where the money is, the banks, something like that. Way to go, Mick. Yeah, Willie Sutton. That's right. It's Willie Sutton. John, did you ever close on that one that class, that one-on-one? You got to get it done, son. If you haven't closed, because that has to be done. All right, John, let's go back to a live market and wrap it up. I'm going to give it a trade on the E-mini, converted into the spot. There's the E-mini. There's some, be sure to get Reckitt in there. That's a nice statement, Reckitt. All right, you see us up, right? Okay. So I want to look at put the SPY in there, Jonathan, the SPY. What's the target there, Jonathan, on that?
Target right now in the zone is 692.
Find me a dollar wide out to January the 23rd on the SPY. Let's give it that for a trade out to the 23rd. A 3 wide paying $1.
All right, the 23rd of January is about 30 days out. Looking for a 3 wide debit call spread for $1. And that's going to be again, January 23rd is the expiration. Going to be buying to open a 702 call and selling to let me just share my screen real quick. Buying to open a 702 call and selling to open a 705 call. Around $1.01 or so is current price. And what are you targeting, Tom? $1.19?
No, let's go with $1.24 on this one. Let's make 24%.
All right. I'm showing the trade on the screen here. I'm going to send this out to the T-Buzz Talking Trade folks.
I'm going to do this trade myself. That's on the SPY, right?
That's on the SPY. That's correct.
All right. The date is January the 23rd.
January 23rd is right.
And buying the 702, and we're selling the 705, right? I got it at $1, Jonathan.
There you go. Good deal.
It's not a day trade. I'm just going to do it and play. And then what I will do is set that order in to sell it at $1.24 when I get filled. Let me read you what iPhone, who is this? It came in as iPhone. What's your name? I want to give you credit for this. Type your name in there. Hey, Deborah. I wish it would come through as Deborah. But anyway, Deborah, listen to what she did. I traded $1,000 on every SLV trade and closed all winners, and then bought 500 shares of SLV. When I was saying I was buying it, she's in my TNT at 62. It's currently 64.77. Your trades are pure gold. I love it. That's great. I love that. Be sure to capture that one. That's a good one. Hey, you're a pretty good writer, Deborah. So let's talk about those people who are not following what we do. They're losing money, maybe, right? If you find yourself losing money, it's because you're not following what the DTI approach is. You're saying to yourself, make it a New Year's resolution in 2026, or really from this day forward, follow what we do and learn with our tools. Our tools are fantastic, and they will help you. They will help you through the education we give. Hit your goals. John, that's all I got. Song one more time, we'll wrap it up.
Okay, sounds good. Give me just a moment.
Jonathan, by the way, Merry Christmas to you. I'll be calling you, though, in about 35, 40 minutes, okay? We can knock it out what we got to knock out, okay?
That sounds good, Tom. And Merry Christmas to you and Paula
Yep.
and the whole family.
I will.
Winston. Yep.
Sure, Jennifer. Yeah, you can buy the roadmap on a Christmas sale. He'll put the link in there for you. You might put the link that I did. Well, thank you, Dave. That's awful nice.